Okay, hello. I'm going to start with the activity for our group, and this is the group about dialogic reading. Um, Emergent literacy refers to speech and language development in young children. This stage begins at birth and continues through the preschool years, and is most successful with consistent adult interaction. So I'm going to use two techniques in this activity. I'm going to use the peer technique and the crowd technique. The peer technique, which is P-E-E-R, stands for the letter P, prompt the child to say something about the book. The letter E, evaluate the response, because this is so important when reading with young children because it helps guide them in their understanding of the word. The next letter E stands for extend the response. To extend the response, an adult may develop the detail of a child response. For example, if I'm using a picture of an elephant and the child responds about the image of an elephant, and the child says that an elephant is a big elephant, the adult may extend that question asking, what about the elephant nose? That is an example. And the letter R stands for repeat. This is important to review about what has been read. Now, the crowd technique, which is C, R, O, W, and D, stands for the letter C, the crowd prompts. We can leave a blank at the end of the sentence and get the child to fill that in. Recall prompts. These are questions about what happened in a book a child has already read. And open-ended prompts. These prompts focus on the picture in books. The WH prompts. These prompts usually begin with what, where, when, why, and how questions. And the distancing prompts. These ask children to relate the pictures or words in the book they are reading to experience outside the book. So I'm going to read one part of the book with the child that I have here that is going to help me with the activity. And after that, I'm going to extend that with a short activity, and I'm going to relate that with something that is happening globally. So I'm going to introduce the child. The child's name is Raul. Raul is an ESOL student. Raul is 6 years old, and he is in kindergarten. Raul is coming from a country where their first language is, when the language is Spanish. So the first language that Raul learned was Spanish. Right now, Raul has some difficult communicating things at school, and that is why this activity is going to help Raul to develop his vocabulary. So Raul, hi, how are you?
Hi,
How are you, Raul?
I'm feeling good.
You're feeling good. Okay. The book that I'm going to use with Raul is the book Lorax by Dr. Seuss. I'm going to use an electronic device, which is an iPad, and I'm going to read just one part of the book because we already read, but I'm going to read just one part with Raul, and then I'm going to proceed with the activity. So, the book that I'm going to read for you, Raul, is the book Lorax. Okay? Do you see, what do you see, Raul, in the first part of the book?
I see a type of animal on top of a tree.
A type of animal on the top of the tree. Can you tell me what color is the tree, Raul?
Yellow.
Is the color yellow. Okay, so the book is called The Lorax and is by Dr. Seuss. Okay, on the first page, Raul, I'm going to read the first page, Raul, and you are going to follow the reading with me. But before I am doing that, I want you to tell me, what can you see in the book that calls your attention?
A town.
It's a town, and that town is bright or is dark?
A little dark but bright.
A little dark but bright. Okay, can you explain me a little bit why is bright and dark at the same time?
It's bright because all the lights are on, but it's dark because it's not like on.
The lights are on?
Like the lights are on, but it still looks dark.
Okay, so maybe it's at night. Okay, Raul, I'm going to start the reading. So it says, at the far end of the town, where the wrinkled grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever seen, excepting all crows, is the street of the lifting lorax. And deep in the crickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the lorax away. What can you see that, Raul, in this page?
I could see like a tree trunk and then with some bricks.
Like a trunk, okay, and that is some bricks. What else can you see?
A boy.
A boy. The boy is happy, is sad,
Confused.
is confused, maybe a little bit scared.
Maybe.
Okay, let's keep reading. Now, what was the lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town, where the crickle grass grows, the old Wonsler still lives here. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Onsler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in this lurking cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes and of mid-motive roof. And one special dang midnights in August he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he
speaks
and tells how the lorax was lifted
away.
He will tell you perhaps, if you are willing to
pay.
And this is the picture, Raul. What can you see on the picture?
I could see a weird big house and the boy staring at the window.
The boy is staring at the window, okay.
And there's eyes in the window.
Who do you think that those eyes belongs to?
Someone who was in the past with the lorax.
Okay, let's see. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Very good, Raul. What can you see, Raul, in this part of the book?
The boy is paying, so then he'll tell him about the lorax.
What do you think the boy is trying to catch?
I think he's trying to throw the money in the bucket.
Do you think that he's trying to throw the money in the pocket?
In the bucket.
In the bucket? Okay, Raul, what is happening here?
The man left the water on.
There's like a running water, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good, Raul. Now, then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you have paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you pay him away in his knob, his secret strange hole in his robust globe. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Look, Raul, what do you think is happening right now?
The boy's hearing into the hose.
The boy is hearing into the hose. Who do you think the boy is trying to hear at, or who do you think the boy is talking to?
Maybe he's talking to the guy in the window.
Maybe he's talking with the guy in the window, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the son of the Simpsons ran out of in pace, one morning I came to this glorious place. And I first saw the trees, the truffle trees, the bright colored tufts and the truffalo trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning
breeze.
What can you tell me about this page, Raul?
There's a really big clouds, there's birds, there's a horse, and a wagon called the Onceler wagon.
Do you think this day is beautiful and sunny or dark and cold?
Beautiful and sunny.
Can you tell me how days, if this is something similar as the days, for example, in the place that you live?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, why?
Because it's very bright and colorful.
Oh, okay. What colors are the trees that you are looking right now in this picture?
Red, purple, yellow, and orange.
What color is the grass?
Green.
So maybe it's summer, right?
It's a little bit because the trees are not red, only sometimes.
Okay.
They're not purple and pink.
Oh, very good. And under the trees, I saw brown bar balloons, frisking about in the bar balloon suits, as they play in the shade and ate truffle fruits. What are those?
Brown barbaloots.
Brown bar balloons, right? And they are eating what?
Truffle fruits.
Could you show me which one is the truffle tree?
This one.
Yes, very good. What kind of trees do you know that gives that kind of fruits? But can you give me an example of a tree that you saw?
A mango tree.
A mango tree, right? Very good, Raul. So we're going to stop right there. As I said, we already finished this book before, so Raul already read this part. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give to Raul one activity that is linked with the book. The activity, he has to color this part, and it says, join the lorax. And it says, to help save energy, water, and protect the planet. And I'm going to ask Raul, what do you think, Raul, it is important to save energy?
For the world, because like let's say a boat, it uses a lot of energy and oil, then it gets into sea. And then if the fish get into it, they could die.
Okay, very good. What do you think water is important to our planet?
Because we need water to survive.
We need water to survive, right? So I'm going to give you some colors, Raul, and you can start coloring your book. And thank you so much for your help.